Hey guys, it's Ross Scott on the Space Coach today. An update to my reading list. I've been making my way through some of the books on my backlog and some of the ones that I've acquired recently. So first, this, A Chain Across the Dawn by Drew Williams. It is the sequel to The Stars Now Unclaimed, which we've had a look at previously. Fantastic universe. The Pulsar's taken out most technology and they're trying to prevent its return and all of that. In this one, the main characters from the previous one, they're trying to find this more people with special powers, and there's this young lad called Sho, S-H-O. He's basically a werewolf, the wolf species, but his power is that of a fusion battery, so he can turn on all the dead tech and maybe help the barriers build some more of their robotic species. But they're being pursued by another race that has vanished from the galaxy for hundreds and hundreds of years, that are basically made out of flames. So that's going to be very difficult to deal with. Great stuff. Really like this universe. The third one that's going to come out is apparently going to be the last one, unfortunately, which is a real shame because I don't think that this universe is anywhere near finished. But it's a really good read. It's thinner than the first one, but I made my way through this in quite a short manner. But yeah, really, really good. Thoroughly enjoyed. Next, The Archive of the Forgotten, which is the sequel to the Library of the Unwritten, which was a great book. This is not quite as good as the first one, but it's still really, really good. So, you know, like Hell's Library and all that sort of stuff. Claire, who was the librarian of the Unwritten wing, is now the head of the Arcane wing, whereas Brevity, the muse, who was her assistant, is now the head of the librarian wing. But it's all going pear-shaped. Books that were destroyed, their ink is collating and basically is becoming sentient and all that sort of stuff. One of the characters that I really liked in the first book, Leto, the young demon courier, he's not in this at all, unfortunately. I do think the book misses that character. He basically went to heaven in the last one. I don't know why they couldn't have brought him back. But Hero and Ramiel are in it, and they're both like an old bickering couple having adventures through various different other realms, trying to sort out what's going on with the library. But yeah, it's good. It's not quite as good as the first one, but still really decent. Then this is fantastic. Declaration of the Rights of Magicians. This is so good that I bought the guy's first novel and started reading that yesterday, Unlike the Escape of Uriah Heep, and this is great. But that's to come. So basically, the French Revolution with magic. All the historical figures are in there, so it's like Robespierre and Danton and people like that on the French side. William Pitt the Younger, William Wilberforce, and people like that on the British side, and then you have Toussaint Louverture in Haiti because that uprising still goes on. Robespierre's a necromancer. Pitt is a vampire, not an actual vampire, but that's his magic type is vampirism, and also mesmerism. They both have that, and it's basically they're being manipulated into war to create armies of the undead for someone else's purposes. But it's absolutely fantastic. Loved this. We all know what happens to Robespierre. That is basically what happens to him at the end of this book, but his mysterious benefactor who's led him to that point is basically telling him he's got his eyes on someone else. He no longer needs France to be a republic, he needs it to be an empire. So that's obviously going to be Napoleon. So that should be fascinating. But great book, thoroughly enjoyed. And then, which I finished yesterday, this, The Devil in and the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. This is the second novel from the guy who did The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which was excellent, which is apparently getting made into a TV show, which would be brilliant. This, I would say, is actually better. It's set in the 1600s. The ship is sailing from Dutch Indonesia back to Amsterdam with a cargo of stuff on board, a prisoner, and the ship has been cursed and the devil is abroad, as it were, called Old Tom. Loads of shenanigans going on. The prisoner's basically like that era's Sherlock Holmes. Everyone's motivations are suspect. Anyone could be possessed, or they all could be possessed. It is great. I absolutely loved it. And the resolution was really interesting as well. And it was left open for a follow-on with those characters, the ones who survive, which I very much look forward to. But yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. I mean, Seven Deaths was great. This is definitely better. So this is now going to be an author I will be buying his stuff when I see it coming out. So yes, that's what I've been reading recently. Like I said, I'm reading Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep, which is H.G. Parry, like the Declaration is. I'm about halfway through Red Moon by Kim Stanley Robinson. I've kind of come to an impasse where they're having a conversation. One of them's quoting Mao, the other one's quoting quantum physics. It's a bit Harry Turtledove, you know, unnecessary conversations, if you recall those videos. But that's what I have been reading, what I'm reading at the moment. So we shall obviously have an update in due course once I've made some more progress. But for now, I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment or suggestion for a topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.